Hey, everybody. Welcome. Let me let everyone know that I am on. Let me make sure Instagram knows I am live. But yeah, welcome. This is going to be an interesting one, you guys. But okay, I think I am. Yep, I'm live on Instagram. Let me let everybody know on Facebook and YouTube that I'm on. All right, hold on. Give me a moment. I always give it a few minutes before I go live, and then I just start talking. All right. Let me switch accounts. Okay, so it's showing me live on here. That's what's up. Mirror. Okay, so good. I'm on YouTube. Let me just let Facebook know, and then I will do my usual introduction, and we can get started. All right, what's this? I got a lot of notifications on Facebook. It's crazy. All right, let me share. How do I share? Okay, let me go on YouTube and share that way. And I'm supposed to meet up with a client. I told her I was going live, so she should be all right. All right, let me go to my page. I got y'all. It's my YouTube studio. Boom. But anyway, as I'm letting everybody know that I'm on, let me know how y'all day's going. No, for real. Let me just start saying, because I gotta let everybody know, like remind people that I'm on. It's just a thing that we do as podcasters. Even though I blasted it out, I still have to remind people that I'm on. But this episode, let me just talk about it just for a little bit. Hold on. So I don't have to talk about it just yet. Hold on. Okay. Live. You guys be sure to join. Hold up. Hey, Jazz. Nothing. I'm in the middle of doing a podcast. Can I call you when I'm done? All right. Bye-bye. All right. To join the discussion. Highlight. Perfecto. All right. I'm going to let a couple more people in. Was it 5 after? I was a minute late. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I was 1 minute late. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. This is also going to be interactive. I say that often, but it really is. I want to hear you guys' opinions, thoughts on the situation, on the matter. Leave a comment if you catch this later. You guys know how to reach out to me, but we have to talk about this. This is very important. I'm actually going to be talking about this often because this seems to be an ongoing situation. Every other day something different is happening when it comes to the CFPB. As you guys know, there's a lot of going on since Trump has been in office. So yeah, I got y'all. Don't worry. Let me let 2 more. Can I post here? I can't even post in my own group. That's crazy. Let me do it this way. Nope, I won't do it that way. Let me see how many got popped up. Okay, more people are coming in. All right, so anyway, I'll just start talking, right? Let me say my official introduction. Hi, everybody. This is Tamai Robles. I'm your credit expert. I am the host of my podcast, Coast to Coast Credit. I'm the owner of my company, Fix My Credit Now, 850.com. I am NAREB's High Desert Chapter President. Welcome. So today, different kind of energy we got going on. As you know, Trump is in office. As you know, a lot has been going on. There's a lot of changes. I am the credit person, and one of the major changes that has been going on is the CFPB. I know you guys are hearing a lot of stuff pertaining to the CFPB. Maybe you're watching YouTube videos on it. This is the first time I'm actually participating in checking out what other people have to say about the CFPB. I'm seeing a lot of conflicting information. So I decided to do my own video on this. I'm going to say my opinions. Okay. I'm going to show y'all proof. I have to show y'all proof what's going on. I'm going to show you what's in the news, what people are saying. And I am going to, as a credit expert, I got to speak my piece. You know, I'm going to tell you what I think personally. But starting off, I've been saying this over and over and over again. I've been saying this for years. I feel that this is the beginning of the end of credit repair. We didn't know how this was going to happen. I'm not saying this is the beginning of the end of credit. I'm saying this is the beginning of the end of credit repair as we know it, as we see it. Okay. We didn't know it was going to be like this. Now we do. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to let y'all know first and first, mostly, I am on StreamYard. So unless you guys have StreamYard, I won't see if you leave a message, if you leave a comment, I won't know that you're literally talking. I won't see your name. I can see you talking and asking questions. That's it. All right, so let's get into it. The CFPB. Now, what is the CFPB? I'm going to explain that to you so you guys understand the severity of the situation, of what's going on, what could potentially be happening with your credit. I'm going to continuously talk about this until this issue is resolved. There's going to be a lot of changes when it comes to credit. There's going to be a lot of changes when it comes to credit repair, to the point I don't know. To what extent, I don't know, but we're going to get into it. I do want to show y'all facts though. Okay, so let me share my screen. And for those that don't know, I'm going to baby step y'all. Okay. I'm going to baby step y'all and explain to you exactly what the CFPB is. Okay. And then explain what exactly is going on. So let me make the screen bigger so you can see it. Again, if you have any questions, you don't have to wait until the end. Just post up and I'll answer them for you. All right. So what exactly is the CFPB? So in a nutshell, this is it. I'm not reading all of this, but it is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It is what some people consider, and now I have officially considered this, the one and only credit bureau, right? We're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to probably talk about that later on today. But we have credit reporting agencies, which is Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, Innovis. There's 60 other credit agencies. The CFPB is the one and only bureau. I do now practice that. I believe in that. All right. It's a federal agency that protects the consumer. So this CFPB is supposed to protect the consumer. What's the consumer? You're the consumer. I'm the consumer. We're the ones that buys things, purchase things, get loans, credit cards, all of that. It's us. But this entity was created to protect us from the financial institutions in a nutshell, right? But I don't want to just nutshell everything. I want to show y'all, like I said, the proof. So the CFPB's mission is to make financial marketers fair, transparent, and competitive. All right. What is their role? Enforce laws. The CFPB enforces federal consumer financial laws, including anti-discrimination laws. Okay, it creates the rules. The CFPB creates rules to reduce unfair and deceptive practices in the financial services industry. Okay, so that means your bank. That means your lenders, anyone that's providing, lending any sort of funds of some sort, whether it is your mortgage lender, whether it's your bank and they're providing a loan for a car, payday loans, all that falls under this category. Monitoring markets. The CFPB monitors the financial markets for risks to consumers. It really does. This has a really good benefit to it, right? It's basically to protect the consumer from anything that can harm them from a financial aspect. What you can do, it says educate consumers, accept complaints. Yes, they do accept complaints. Accept complaints. Okay. If you are a credit expert and you know anything about the CFPB, some credit experts, like I've mentioned to you guys before, they do dispute with the CFPB and they don't dispute with the credit bureaus. I'm not one of them. I actually utilize every resource, every tool. So I dispute with the credit reporting agencies and I do follow up with the CFPB. So what is actually going on here? I want to make it claro. Okay. I did a podcast episode on this. So if you want to check the whole entire thing out, was pretty lengthy because I broke everything down. I'm not going to break everything down to you, but I'll give you little snippets. But go to Coast to Coast Credit and then you'll find me out there. You'll find the episode where I break everything down to a science, right? But anyway, what's been going on this past week, I don't even think it's been a couple weeks, is that Donald Trump basically implemented change to the CFPB. And I'm going to keep my opinions out of this as much as possible, or at least save it to the end, just so you guys have pure facts. Who is now running the CFPB, you might as well say, is Elon Musk. Okay. Our second president. Like some people are saying, that's our second president. But prior to Musk, prior to all these crazy changes, there was a director named Rohit Chopra. If I messed his name up, my bad. Okay. But Rohit was the head of the CFPB. This guy was the one that was advocating for the consumer to basically stop any predatory lending. He was doing a lot. What else did he do? Stop predatory lending. He was aggressively taking initiative to remove medical debt from the credit reports. Like, these are the things that he was advocating for. He was trying to put a limit or a cap on overdraft fees when it came to the banks. So he was doing things for us, right? I'm going to show y'all after I explain who's who and what's what, just so it makes sense. I'm going to show y'all a clip. He is fired, if you don't know. Right now, he got fired. Trump got rid of him. He let him go, but he's still speaking out. He still speaks things highly of the American consumer. I guess we can say we appreciate that, but I want you guys to know what's going on. He got fired. He got replaced, and the person that replaced him officially is a guy named Scott Bessent. Bessent is just the interim person, he's acting director of the CFPB. Now, the difference between Scott and Rohit is Scott is actually more business minded. He is pro, not consumer, he's pro corporation. Okay. So therefore, he's moving in favor of the corporation over the consumer, which is mad crazy because that is the whole purpose of the CFPB. Why would you have somebody that doesn't care, in my opinion, about the consumer, but his main the person, the people, the main entity, what's most important to him are businesses? Why would you have that? Like, the CFPB literally means, it says consumer, that the C for in the CFPB is consumer, and then the P is protection, consumer protection. So why would you have someone there? Okay, so I digress. So this guy has been assigned by the president to be the acting director for now. Okay, now what he's known for is he's been well received by the banking industry, naturally, and he's been criticizing over the years what Rohit has been doing. So he's been blatantly saying things that go against Chopra, which kind of makes it weird. Like, okay, now you're fired and now you're filling in for his position, whatever. Now, what is actually going on at the moment, or what, not quite at the moment, what's been going on the past couple days? people are saying that the CFPB is frozen. See, people are saying the CFPB is dead. The CFPB, none of that is true, right? There is a hold on the CFPB. Everything has stopped right now. I know I did a video recently saying Experian and Equifax are being sued. Not right now, they're not, because of the messiness that's going on. All that is dead. Anybody that has a lawsuit against the CFP about, I'm sorry, from the CFPB, any sort of lawsuits or legal action taken against them, all of that is frozen. Any action take that the CFPB may be taking against the credit reporting agencies, any 60 of them, all of that is frozen. It's just at a standstill. It does not mean it is dead. Doesn't mean it's dead. So I had to at least get that part out. Hopefully you guys can understand that. I'm talking fast for a reason. So I'm trying to just quickly give you a background so you understand what's going on. So when I show you these clips and we talk about it, you understand what's going on. That's it. That's all. Again, if you have any questions, because I know this credit thing can be a little confusing for a lot of us, and I get it. It's not confusing for me because this is my industry. Leave a comment. I will see it. I will see it. Trust me. I'm going to see it and I'll just address it and I'll talk to you. But right now, I just want to give you guys the facts. So, as the new director stepped in, everything was put on hold, right? So any activities, rulemaking, litigation, enforcement, one of the things that Chopra was doing is, and this was before the the second term of Trump's administration came in, he was basically saying, listen, banks, there should never be an excess amount of overdraft fees. So he was working on that. Right now, that's frozen. No movement on that. So basically, the banks can do whatever they want at this point. Another thing that was happening during the Biden administration through the CFPB, they were getting rid of medical bills on your credit report. So if you have a medical bill on your credit report, it shouldn't be on there. I did an episode on that too. Go check out Coast to Coast Credit. Talked about it, right? Now that is on hold. That's on hold. So if you're trying to get your credit fixed and you come to me and say, hey, this medical shouldn't be on my credit report. Well, at this point where we are right now, where we stand at today, it is, unfortunately, it wasn't supposed to be, but since these policy changes have occurred, this is what we got to deal with. All right. Now, what is going on in addition, right, is now Elon. Elon, I know we are going to be tired of listening and hearing about Elon, but it is, you have to know again what's going on. I'm only just giving the facts. Don't kill me. I am just the messenger. Elon is overseeing all of this. I don't know if you saw his tweets on X. I don't tweet whatever, but I'm sure if you're paying attention to this, maybe you're watching the news or whatever. Elon has now taken over. And he left a tweet saying the CFPB, and then he had a tombstone and it was like, rest in peace. It's not dead. Like, I really need y'all to understand, it is so totally not dead. Okay. It's just on hold, but Elon is talking and moving as if he has the cojones and the power and the authority to abolish a government agency called the CFPB. No, he can't. One thing I do want to say about the CFPB, and I'm saying this for a reason because I'm going to circle back around this and say my opinion. The CFPB is new. It new meaning it hasn't been out for like as long as the credit bureaus or something like this. This is something that occurred during the crash. The crash of what is it, 06, the housing crash. And we're going to talk about that as well. Now that you guys have an update, a little background on what's going on, now I want to share some videos with y'all so you can see. Again, I want to show you proof of what's going on. I don't want you guys thinking that I'm making any of this up, and I'm actually going to pause here and there so you guys can hear my little thoughts and opinions. I am going to say a few things with regards to it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, boom. Let me blow it up for y'all so you can see. Now, let me give credit where credit is due because this is YouTube. I don't want to get any strikes against me, but this is what MSNBC. This is a clip from MSNBC. All right, let me Like,
country. Are you ready to say no to Elon Musk?
Democrats rallied outside the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau in D.C. today. It is the latest federal agency to be targeted by Donald Trump and Elon Musk, firing the Bureau's director earlier this month. And in just the last few days, the headquarters were closed and staff were told, stop working and stay at home. So let's just take a moment to remember exactly what the CFPB does. It is the consumer watchdog that protects people from unfair and deceptive practices, financial practices like predatory lending, debt collecting, and overcharging bank fees. And since its creation, this is important, CFPB enforcement actions have led to nearly $20 billion in consumer relief.
okay, let me explain what she meant by that. Again, I just want to give total and complete clarity, okay? When she was saying it gave billions in consumer relief, the CFPB, as I read, okay, we filed disputes with them. We file complaints with them. People file complaints for anything pertaining to the financial institution. Let's say you have a crooked mortgage loan or some predatory, some lending of some sort, and you may complain with that bank. The bank doesn't do anything about it. No one's doing anything about it. So you're supposed to file a CFPB complaint. You file a CFPB complaint, then they in turn are supposed to do a full investigation where they reach out to the lender, and then whatever the case, however, whatever, it gets resolved. But there's fees and penalties behind that. Okay. Through that, the consumer, which is us, we reap the benefits. We get rewarded. If they're going to court, we win cases. If there's issues with the credit reporting agencies, how they're reporting, they're not fixing anything, you can file a CFPB complaint and then you can win. We'll get into that in a minute, but I wanted you to understand what this lady is talking about when she's saying that the consumer has gotten billions. Okay, that is true, because over time there has been billions of dollars worth of fines, right? Billions of dollars worth of fines and lawsuits. But I digress. Let's keep going.
Republicans have long been critical of the agency, but here's my point. If you think the CFPB is not run well, if you think some of their work is redundant, they want to streamline, okay, great. Then why isn't the president standing at the podium and explaining to the American people, here's the replacement. We're going to move it to the SEC. We're going to move it to the Treasury. If you feel like you are getting financially scammed and taken advantage of, this is the hotline to call. But no, they're not saying anything, because a move like this leaves us wondering, who is looking out for the consumer? Could it be no one? Former director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Rohit Chopra, joins me now.
So this is the guy that I was just telling you guys about. Okay, I see some people are coming in and out, so I wanted to be clear on who this individual is. So Chopra is the guy that I said was just fired 2 weeks ago by the president. Okay, and now Scott has since replaced him. This is the man that was running the CFPB. He was the one that was trying to enforce these changes on behalf of the consumer. He is the guy. He's our protector, I guess you can say. So this is a face with the name. So I just want to show you guys that. I will go back to being smaller.
He was previously a member of the Federal Trade Commission. Rohit, it's not a surprise that you were let go from your position. You were appointed by President Biden, but talk to us about this agency. You were running it up until 2 weeks ago. What are you thinking now? Did you ever, you knew you would be out of a job, but did you ever think the 1,700 people who are part of this agency would potentially be too?
Well, I just think it's totally strange. Shuttering the CFPB would just be a big bonanza for big companies that break the law. You know, every single day that I served, we got thousands of consumer complaints saying things like, I paid my bill, they cashed my check, but my student loan company hasn't credited my account, or I was charged 3 overdraft fees instead of just 1 because they reordered my payments, or I got a notice of a potential foreclosure for a mortgage I never took out. Every single day, people feel frustrated.
Okay, so I want to pause for that. So he is just stating what I've been saying to you guys, that this is the entity that we complain to. This is the entity that is supposed to fight on our behalf. These are some of the complaints that he's stating that the CFPB gets, and that they have to, or have been allegedly, and I say allegedly for a reason, protecting us from. So just so you have a general idea of exactly what he's talking about. And I'm sorry, my stuff is skipping. The internet is skipping. I think I have an idea why it's happening, so I apologize. But usually around this time, it kind of skips. So my fault.
When it comes to their financial life, whether it's a credit report or a loan, and that's exactly what the CFPB works to fix. It is popular with people of all political stripes, and the only people I think who are skeptical of it are lobbyists and corporate executives.
Okay, so I actually have to disagree here, and this is why I disagree. I kind of low-key am skeptical a little bit. Here's why, and I will dive deeper into this later. It is a government entity. Yes, it may have gotten consumers a lot of money, which is great. And it is a layer of protection, which is great. But this is such a new organization, not organization. This is such a new department within the government. The CFPB, what he's not saying are all of the complaints are not really even being acknowledged. I use the CFPB for my clients, and I send letters and disputes, and I show proof and everything. And a lot of the complaints get shut down. You can't, even if they deny you, a lot of times you can't even fight that. They'll tell you, oh, you already brought this to our attention. Denied or not accepted. So it sounds good what he's saying, but again, I will leave the majority of my thoughts after we hear what he has to say. But I beg to differ. It's not just the lobbyists that have a problem. I kind of have a problem too.
Who don't seem to want to play by the rules. And we should want a market that is fair and competitive, and not where cheaters can unfairly compete.
I don't know if they're skeptical of the agency. The people who you're talking about who don't want it, it flies in the face of their business because they don't want to have any rules. So if the CFPB doesn't exist, let's say it doesn't, what protections do the American people have? Who do they call if they're being ripped off, if they're being scammed? Who protects them? Who helps them?
Yeah, who knows? We had this experiment before in the years leading up to the subprime mortgage crisis. And as we all know, it was an absolute catastrophe. We had a whole set of mortgage lenders and other companies that had basically no oversight. And we saw trillions of dollars of wealth in our country disappear.
And again, that is when the CFPB was created. It was created during the housing crisis. I get it. Predatory lending was huge back then. I totally agree. And I understand that this should have been protected, but it is. He's not really answering the question, in my opinion. What happened? Where was the protection? Did it never exist? So now that the CFPB has been, they're trying to get rid of it. What now? But I don't think they're going to get rid of it. They're fighting for it right now, and we'll talk about it. But let's get back to this.
It just feels like shutting down the CFPB is begging for another financial crisis. And Stephanie, here's actually what's interesting. We're already hearing businesses and others asking, are they harvesting data about their potential competitors? is my information about my bank or financial company powering some new artificial intelligence model? What really is the reason for this? And that's really what we've got to get to the bottom of. At the end of the day, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't enforce the laws on the books. That's just a big gift to those who break the law.
But how are we going to get to the bottom of it, right? If Elon Musk and Doge are in the middle of this, he is filled with conflicts of interest with regard to his businesses, but he also comes from the school of move fast and break things. How are we to get to the bottom of it? Who's at the bottom waiting to pick this up? No one.
Well, you do see a lot of big tech companies and their executives lurching into financial services. You know, Facebook tried to create a currency. Google actually sued the CFPB because the CFPB was taking a look at their payments business. So I think we got to make sure that whatever is going on in Silicon Valley and Wall Street, their agenda is definitely not the agenda of families who want to see their costs go down.
Okay, so again, not to keep cutting this off, but I have to because this is the whole purpose of what this episode is for. As you can see, she just brought up his agenda. So now we're talking crypto. We're talking cryptocurrency, right? But he had a problem or has a problem with what Elon's doing, what Trump is doing as far as removing the CFPB, right? Keep in mind, this is everybody has their own agenda. Let's not forget that. Okay. All right. So, alrighty. So again, I'm kind of on a fence about it because for one, I am a credit expert and I fight and dispute and everything on your behalf, right? So there is no protection. Hold on. Sorry, you guys. I was okay. Let me get out of that. So it's my job to fight on your behalf. It's my job to see what's on your credit report, dispute with the credit bureaus, dispute with the CFPB or whatever. I totally get that we need protection, but we always needed protection. So why does it have to be a crisis to happen in order for us to get to this point? They get rid of the CFPB. Okay, she's right. What is there to protect us? And I don't understand how he is a director and he's been in the game and he understands how finances work within the nation. And your answer is, I don't know. I'm not on his level and I know the answer to that. There's other ways to get protection. There's other ways. If you are dealing with predatory lending of any sort and the CFPB doesn't exist, you can go to other credit entities. You can complain in different ways. You can go to court. I'm saying there's so many different things. Saying I don't know at his level is, to me, it's insulting our intelligence. And I guess you can say it is an insult to our intelligence because a lot of people don't even know what the CFPB is in the first place. They don't understand the severity of what really is going on right now as we speak. Now, let's fast forward, okay? I want to fast forward to what's going on now. So, like I stated, the CFPB is not dead. I see some credit experts, credit people, credit specialists, whatever they want to call themselves, all right? Because everybody, we call each other something different. But I'm seeing some videos when they're like, oh yeah, a lot of people are disputing with the CFPB. You don't know what you're doing. We did know what we were doing. And I was one of those people. I still am one of those people that will file a complaint against the credit bureaus or the credit agencies with the CFPB, right? But I do other forms of disputing. I dispute in different ways, but that doesn't make it a problem or a lesser, right? But the thing is, it's not dead. And they're saying things like certain people don't know what they're talking about. No one knows what's going on right now. This is new. No one had the balls as president to step in and take the consumers' protection away, if that makes sense, except Elon. You know what I'm saying? Except Elon. Now we got a problem. So no one can say, I can't say what's about to happen. The next credit expert can't say what's about to happen. We're literally sitting ducks with our credit and with our lack of protection because the CFPB is on hold. That's it. That's all. There's no right or wrong in the situation. We have to just grab our popcorn and just pay attention and keep disputing and keep disputing. Now, I'm seeing certain credit people, they're saying, oh, yeah, you know, this is what you need to do in the meantime, right? Well, yes and no. Okay, yes and no. One of the things that we need to do in the meantime is to keep fixing our credit before we can't fix our credit. Okay, I've been stressing that with you guys since forever. I said I've noticed this happening. I foresaw this to be the beginning of the end 4 or 5 years ago. It's starting to come in fruition. Now that the CFPB is on hold, now they got a judge that's trying to intervene. That's like, listen, Elon, who are you? Let's put everything on hold for a second. What you're trying to do, let's take it to court, right? We don't know what's going to happen. They need to work this shit out. We need to keep disputing because at the end of the day, there was not always a CFPB. We still had to fix our credit. If you knew what you were doing, that's not new. That's pretty old school. Keep disputing while you can. I'm still getting results from my clients. You better get it before you can't. But anyway, let me share another clip with you guys. As you can see, okay, so this one is 2 days old. It is 56 minutes long. I'm not playing this for 56 minutes, but I'm going to try to get to the part where they're talking about the CFPB and how the judge stepped in.
Good
and hopefully
evening. I'm Amna Nawaz.
And I'm Jeff Bennett. On the NewsHour tonight,
and to give credit,
the federal prosecutor agrees to drop charges against New York City's mayor.
Oh no!
Complying with the judge.
Okay, hold on. Let's find the part where they're talking about
of court to dismiss an indictment on a prosecutor's motion.
Oh no, momento.
And so that suggests that the court.
Trump versus the courts. Okay, here it is. I think I just went past it. Okay, it was saying something about Elon and the. Okay, I can't find it. Okay, so it's not here. I'm gonna find it for you guys. Give me a second. But what's happening right now, just to give you the update, is there is a federal judge that has stepped in and they're going to apparently sort all this stuff out in the court. And as you know, anything court related, if you do know, I'm saying anything court related can take forever. It could take months, it could take years. Okay. I think at the rate that this is going, hopefully it does not take years. Hopefully it just, let's cross our fingers, it only takes a couple of weeks and that a judge can step in and say, hey, listen, you can't do this, Elon. You can't do this. You have no power or authority. Even the president cannot step in. Okay, this is not there's so many steps that have to be taken when it comes to this. So I wanted to just quickly go over that. What I'm going to do is just basically be on the lookout. I'm not going to necessarily do lives continuously per se on this topic. I'm going to break it down. As you guys know, I am the president of a local board for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And most of my clients are trying to purchase homes. I want to say about 85% of my clients are trying to purchase homes. A lot of the people I do business with are in the real estate industry. So I'm going to speak on how this affects the consumer and how it affects those that are trying to purchase a home. This is going to be a forever changing situation. You are going to continue to see credit experts say, oh, don't do this. Don't listen to that person. This is right. This is wrong. This is what you need to do. This is the answer. I'm here to tell you there's no magic answer other than just quickly get your credit repaired. Keep getting your credit repaired. Encourage your clients to get their credit repaired. Encourage people to do it and not drag their feet, because it could be a possibility that we can never get our credit repaired. Whatever's on our credit is going to remain on our credit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Get your credit fixed now. Just because the CFPB is on hold, one monkey don't stop no show. It's not stopping mine. I got clients. As soon as I get off here, I have to call some clients back, right? I'm still getting results. Be careful of what they're saying. Get the facts. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, download, listen, ask questions, do your research. We are credit experts at the end of the day. This is a business, and you are going to see salesy, pitchy, exciting captions, and it makes it sound like, oh, we know the answers to everything. We don't. We're watching like you. We're trying to figure it out just like you. Just like there's predatory lending, there's predatory credit experts out there. Okay. Overall, my opinion over all of this is, I don't really care if the CFPB on it from a credit perspective. I don't care if the CFPB exists or not. And it just has a lot to do with some of the results that I get. It's literally like a 50-50 shot. If I get results when I file a CFPB complaint, they seem to be more permanent. On a positive side, you get pretty fast results when you file a complaint with the CFPB. It could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days, depending on if the creditor fights back or asks for more time. But a lot of times, though, they don't even respond. They close out your case, and then what? Where is the real protection? I'm not mad at the situation. As long as I know that I can always fix you guys' credit somehow, some way, that's all I really care about. As far as protection, we haven't really been protected anyway. They're talking about the banks can steal our information. The government already has our information. It's not hard to get anybody's information. That's nothing unusual. So if we're pouring in billions of dollars into the CFPB and it saves the American consumer or the nation money for us to cut it off, so what? Cut it off. There's other entities and other avenues we can go to. If they don't, cool. The banks are going to do what they want to do. The banks are going to, if they're their own separate entity, they're going to do what they want to do. If they want to raise the fees, they'll raise the fees. If they want to cut you off as a customer with no explanation, you can't walk into someone's business and tell them what they can and can't do, as long as it's not illegal, right? But if it is illegal, sue them. The CFPB, and then I heard another guy say, oh, file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. But the Better Business Bureau, all they do is accept complaints. I've never seen people win off a BBB. If you guys filed a complaint with the BBB and you won, please let us know. Share in the comments. Let us know. I've been stopped filing complaints with the Better Business Bureau. I think I only did it for maybe 4 months when I first became a credit expert. They don't do shit. They don't do enough. The CFPB did more than the BBB. But I'm going to play this out a little more. I didn't want to jump on a bandwagon and comment like other people. Oh, snap. This is what's really going on with the CFPB. Oh, this is what is happening. They laid off workers. They did that. There's going to be a lot of craziness happening. But I don't want to jump the gun. I want to see what's going to happen before I address you guys and talk to you guys. But I will be speaking to my real estate agents. I will be talking more to my clients that are trying to purchase a home. Get your credit fixed, okay? Because the lender that you're trying to purchase your home from, they can't be predatory if your credit is good. It's predatory against people with poor credit. So counter that and get good credit. Fix your credit. Got it? All right. But I'm going to talk more about y'all one-on-one. I do have something coming up on Wednesday. It's mostly for, people in the industry, people trying to buy homes, so on and so forth. But if you guys want to check it out and join, you can. It's just for an hour, midday mindset thing we got going on. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, just educate yourself. Don't freak out. Fix your credit before you can't fix your credit. And we could talk about the banks and stuff later. Before we wig out and say, oh my God, the banks are going to do this, that, and the third. They're going to have these high interest rates. They're going to do the overdraft fees all crazy. They've done it before. We lived through it before, even after the crash. What do you do? What do you do about that? Okay, we're going to have some solutions. I'm going to wrap this up. You guys are good. Always. I appreciate you guys. I noticed that when I release my podcast on Coast to Coast Credit, y'all signed up from all over the world. Y'all download, and I appreciate that. That is so flattering. I appreciate it. But be sure to comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Any questions, comments, any topics in particular you want me to talk about or do a video on or a podcast episode on, just drop it and I got y'all covered. In the meantime, I'll talk to y'all later. I wish you the best of luck on your credit repair journey.